Friday evening to you. How's everybody doing? It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you, and it's good to be seen by you. I hope everybody's having an absolutely wonderful evening. And who am I to wish you a wonderful evening? I'm the Dungeon Delver. I'm Bill Sylvie, and I am your friendly, happy host for Friday nights. Let's get together and chat for a little while. I was awfully sleepy yesterday because I had been up storm watching and I had been up working on stuff, and it took me up until I was done with live streams to get some sleep. Note, that's not go to bed, that's get some sleep, because after the college football show, which I do weekly during college football season, it is rapidly approaching a time when that show will end. After that, went over to my desk. I said, I'm going to finish watching this YouTube video that I started just before I started live streaming, and then I'm going to bed because I'm tired. At this point, I had been up 8 to 8, and then to 11, 20, 27 hours. And so I said, I'm going to finish watching this video. It's like 20 minutes over at my desk over there. 3:30 in the morning, my daughter comes in and wakes me up. I was apparently face down on the desk. What do they say? Life is what happens when you're making other plans. So I trundled off to the bedroom and got some proper sleep, and praise the Lord, I didn't get a very, very, very bad crick in my neck. How are you, Chris? Wave Mutilation, Yang Yan Zhao. It's good to see you, everyone out there. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Me, I'm having a frosty cold one out of my, this is my Tracy Lesh beer stein. I haven't gotten a chance to pound one out of this yet, but here, tonight, the initial, oops. Sorry about that. I guess that camera is out of service right now, but anyway, it's got some lovely art by TSR, one of the original folks at TSR, the designer of the Mind Flayer, and a good friend of mine, Tracy Lesh. If you guys are interested in getting one of his mugs, you can get a beer stein, you can get a coffee mug. Reach out to me, and I'll hook you up. Happy Veterans Day. Yes, definitely happy Veterans Day. So it's my first drink out of the Tracy Lesh mug, and it is a lovely piece of, well, not glassware, I guess you'd say a lovely piece of china. China. It's China. Anyway. So anyway, I was basically recovering from a 27-hour stretch of no sleep for a good portion of today. But I'm here now. Everything's hunky-dory. And I hope you're doing well, too. Tonight, we are going to continue our Let's Read of Deities and Demigods. We're going to continue on through the Nawan mythos, and then non-human deities. We're going to take a look at the non-human deities. Passerby said you saw a mega figurine of the Githyanki on a tabletop convention last weekend. Ah, interesting. I had seen a couple, 2 or 3 things from WotC. Well, I mean, it's licensed merch. We don't do that around here. I don't know what kind of nonsense that would be about, licensed merch. But anyway, they've got some statuettes that, just in my humble opinion, don't do justice to the original stuff. Maybe somebody will come along and change that. The guys at Otherworld Miniatures, the guys at Otherworld Miniatures made the great Demon Idol piece, which is over here. It's next to the horse. Damien says, China is here, Mr. What does that mean, China is here? What does he mean? But anyway, because yes, I understood that reference. So, anyway, yeah, they've got some of these tchotchkes that cost a lot of money. They even made their own attempt at the demon idol as a dice tower. Everything is wrong in some way. Their Ifrit from the Dungeon Masters cover is holding the knight and not the princess. Their dice tower, the brazier is way too small, and he has pointy ears, not horns. So I'm sure the Githyanki is jacked up. You think edible minis would be neat? Eat your defeated enemy's chocolate chip corpse. Yeah, but I think they would tend to get broken and melty somewhat. TJ's over there patiently waiting. Do the dice come? I don't know. I'm guessing his butt. I'm guessing he poops out. What is, by the way, this obsession with dice towers? Just roll it on the table. Just roll it on the table. This is not Mr. Sylvie's craft hour. I actually did a video about my opinion. It's a real short one. It's demonetized because I use bits of the Conan the Barbarian Anvil of Crom music and then the theme from the Larry David show in it. So they struck that one. So any dollars I might get from it go to the fine people at Universal. But anyway, after we talk about deities and demigods tonight, which is coming up in a few, settle down. We're going to get there. After deities and demigods tonight, we're going to play some Gamma World. Now, unfortunately, James had to step away permanently, so we're going to be a little lean on characters tonight. Maybe. We'll see. So we'll make it work. We'll make it work. I always do. I always manage to get things together. Do I not? Do I not? I do. Don't say I don't, because I do. But anyway. You know, this is kind of like Dr. Johnny Fever. He had the big mug that he was always drinking something out of on WKRP. Which, by the way, to my Facebook friends, you can stop sharing the turkey day, the turkey drop video. I grew up watching KRP. I know all about it. Yes, it's cute. Yes, it's funny. So, dice towers are cool. You can convince Gen Zers they can more accurately roll dice, so they need to give you $50. Hey, let me tell you what, anything that's a good grift is a good grift. And man, don't let me stop you. Don't let me stop you. So let's go ahead and jump back into it because I've run my mouth enough. They thought that's right, Chris. They thought the turkeys could fly. And we're going to jump right straight into where we left off last night with one of the patrons of Fawford and the Grey Mouser, Ningable of the Seven Eyes. Ningable of the Seven Eyes, who's an alien wizard, just in case the Seven Eyes didn't tell you what you needed to know. So old Ning, armor class -2, 150 hit points, 20th level magic user, 12th level illusionist, 10th level bard. I guess he can really tell a story with really great stats. This being is Fafard's advisor and charges almost the same fees as arcane peer Shielba charges, except that if Mouser is called upon to kill a rare magical bird and bring back a feather or two, Fafard must kill a rock and bring back the whole body. Categories such as intelligence and the like, as with Shielba, are subject to change, as the being's nature is not like that of humans. Though probably not originally of Naywan, Ningable inhabits a huge series of caves near the sinking lands. These caves are linked interdimensionally with other planes, other times of Naywan, and other multiverses. Only Ningable, with his alien logic patterns, is able to fully comprehend the paths of the caves. Ningable is always wrapped in heavy robes with an empty cowl that displays 7 constantly moving lights. Occasionally, one eye will protrude from the cowl, then it can be seen to be an eye upon the end of a snake-like tentacle. These eyes can see through all illusions. Ningable is known as the gossiper of the gods and loves nothing better than to listen to a good story about the powerful and mighty or the strange and unknown. He has informers in many different times and places and sometimes makes use of other heroes in worlds other than Naywan. Speaking of heroes, Pulg, lawful evil, 4th level cleric, 15th level fighter, 72 hit points, armor class 2, good stats except for charisma. And this is Jim having a little bit of fun. If you're like, Pulg, who's that? Pulg does not appear in any of the currently published works about Naywan. He didn't appear in any of them, period, the stuff that Fritz wrote after this either. Well, thank you, Robert, for not asking where is Naywan. Although a cousin, Pulg, and he mentions Pulg's cousin specifically, is in Ling times in Lankmar. Pulg is the greatest warrior of Lankmar, although when Fafard and Mouser are in the city, Pulg would be hard-pressed to claim he was the best in that place. This title is based on the accomplishments of the warrior in getting impossible things done for the important personages of the city. He favors using a great +3 spear, which does 2 to 12 points of damage, although he can certainly employ any other weapon with skill. Prior to taking up the tools of the fighter's trade, Pulg was an evil cleric, hence the clerical ability, and it is rumored that he still serves a cult of black evil within the city. He is a shadowy figure who avoids notice whenever possible, although he will emerge whenever circumstances warrant doing so. Jim basically just inventing something whole cloth because he thought it sounded cool, and that's fine because this is AD&D and you can do that. The Rat God. The Rat God of Naywan. Almost comical, if terrifying, drawing by Paul Jacques there. Excuse me, Janelle Jacques. Armor class 2, move 18, 222 hit points, damage per attack 4 to 40, only magical resistance of 20%. He's large, 10 feet at the shoulder. Chaotic Evil and Chaotic Evil Were-Rats. 2 eyes on a black field is a symbol. Pretty good stats, charisma's -6, which I guess for him is good. The Rat God is the manifestation of all men's fears of its kind. All felines must run in fear from this apparition. It walks erect, can shrink to normal rat size, and is able to summon 20 were-rats to its side once per day. The god's largest temple can be found in the port city of Ilthmar, where human sacrifices are held by the light of every full moon. The Red God, who is neutral. Lesser God, 311 hit points. 15th level fighter, 15th level cleric, 20th level fighter, 12th level magic user illusionist, 10th level assassin, 10th level monk. The War God of the East, this being appears with a +4 ring of protection, a helm of telepathy and teleportation, and a displacer cloak. He uses a +3 saber in his right hand that does 3 to 30 points of damage per strike, and a +4 dirk in his left hand that does 1 to 10. His saber casts an anti-magic shell around his body that does not limit his own spell abilities. This god is very protective of his more important worshippers, and when they are in foreign lands, he will occasionally come to their aid in situations that he would not bother about in the East. This aid consists of an 8th level magic user sent to help. The god is a massive dark-skinned man with red-studded leather armor carrying a bronze shield. He is always mustachioed and wears a pointed helm. His boots and belt shine as brightly as if a continual light spell had been placed upon them. Ooh, I wonder what that could be. It's a Jeff D illustration, but we'll come back to that. Because we've got to talk about Shilba of the Eyeless Face. Ningable took all the eyes. Neutral armor class 2, 150 hit points. 20th level magic user, 5th level illusionist, 10th level monk. Good stats down the board. This being is the advisor to the Grey Mouser, charging for this advice the theft of seeming non-important and or important objects and devices all over the world of Nawan, and sometimes the other universes as the mood takes the being. While the books constantly refer to Shilba as a he, the author of the series, Fritz Leiber, and his longtime friend Harry Fisher both maintain that Shilba is a female. Whatever it is clearly not a creature of Nawan, but a being related to the lower planes. Shilba appears to the world in a large monkish robe with a full cowl that is totally dark inside, hence the name. It lives in the Great Salt Marsh in a magic hut with animated stilts. The hut moves at a rate of 24 inches over the roughest landscape. Shilba has a dislike for and rivalry with Ningable of the Seven Eyes, but at times they are forced to help each other. Categories such as intelligence and the like will change with the circumstances that the being finds itself in. It is commonly known that demons who can perceive its real form scream in horror when facing Shilba and leave instantly. Shilba is a greedy thing out to get all of the profit out of life that it can. On the other hand, it protects its investments by preventing bad things from happening to the heroic pair and their city. A Snow Serpent by Jeff D. 10 hit dice. Normal magical resistance. 100 feet long. This furred snake of enormous size commonly lies in wait near snow-pile mountain trails. Its bite does 1 to 10 points of damage, and it can constrict for 3 to 30 points of damage per melee round. Ouch. Greetings, Dungeon Minister. No, the dancing hut of the Baba Yaga walks around on 2 great bird legs. You didn't make it up. Spider God, you'll find it very odd. Spins a web, betcha dude. Hope it doesn't come near your hood. Hey, wow, there is a Spider God. 249 hit points, damage per attack 3 to 30. Poison, 18 feet at the shoulders. Keep it the hell away from me. It's chaotic evil. 15th level fighter, 15th level magic user. All those stats. Appearing as a giant black spider, this deity is known for its delight in receiving human sacrifices. Its powers include the ability to summon 30 phase spiders per day, the power to make all arachnids obey, and the ability to transfer the powers of a spider to its most powerful high priest. Its evil clerics work diligently to keep their god satisfied by way of human sacrifices. It rewards them with a gift of a large pet spider once per each 10 sacrifices. I hear when you get 100, it gives you, it turns you into a Drider. I don't know. Salt Spider, 3 hit dice, animal, poison. This is a huge, ugly spider about the size of a large pig. It has large suction pads on its feet, allowing it to travel over any non-slippery surface. It lives in great salty swamps where it makes complicated, sticky web traps. It has a deadly poisonous bite. Does it have any treasure? Does it have anything we can loot if we kill it? No, it doesn't have any treasure. Boo! If it has a lair and it just eats passersby, I say it has treasure. How dare you not have treasure? But of course, if it did have treasure, Foffer and Grey Mouser would have hunted them to extinction. Don't get your hopes up, boy. This is Taya, winged goddess of evil birds. (311 hit points, number of attacks 1, damage per attack by weapon type, with poisoned weapons. She's chaotic evil, kids. Taya has the ability to manifest herself in her high priestess. Oh, but we need to look at what she is. She is a 15th level cleric, a 10th level fighter, 15th level magic user. I would have thought she would have had assassination abilities too, but she can basically manifest herself in her high priestess. It's rare. She can summon 20 of any predatory birds, but prefers to use the birds of Taya, of which she can summon 100 per day. If forced into combat, she uses weapons that are poisoned, preferring a +2 longsword. Her cult was banished from Lankmar, but its worshippers can still be found in the mountains of Nawan. Only women are permitted in the high priesthood, and Taya demands the sacrifice of body parts from her more attractive worshippers. The falconers of Taya are the male arm of the cult and always have some type of bird as a fighting companion. They, like the priestesses, are able to communicate with all avian life. Votishal, a demigod, 344 hit points. Lawful good, 13th level cleric, 12th level fighter, 15th level magic user, 25th level thief, 3rd level bard. Votishal appears as a normal thief in all of his idol representations. This is another case of a man of great ability becoming venerated by later generations. He was a master thief of the 14th level who reformed to the cause of good and law. His thieving abilities then went in the direction of robbing from evil groups to benefit the lawful good group he supported. If he manifests himself on the prime material plane, he will try to kill all evil beings he encounters. His clerics rise alternately in the clerical class and the thief class. They are very zealous in their efforts to rob all evil people, especially evil shrines. They are in direct opposition to the Thieves Guild and constantly try to get member thieves to join the sect by kidnapping them and brainwashing them in the temple crypts. The high clerics of this order are always 15th level patriarchs, 12th level master thieves. No cleric can rise above 10th level in this sect unless they've carried away some amount of riches from an evil temple. I like this guy. Who's up for some Votishal worship? Dungeon Minister, is that okay? Water Cobra. Water is the disease. Water Cobra is the water cure. They are uncommon. They are small, 4 feet long. You got rattlesnakes down here in Florida that are like 8 and 9 feet long. I don't even want to hear about that. The water cobra is invisible in water because of its ability to change color to match the area underneath it. It only frequents freshwater rivers and creeks. Its bite is poisonous. And we have a bibliography there, which tells me we're probably coming to the end of the Nawan mythos. So let's scroll up. This is a fun little addition. If you're going to run a campaign set in the world of Nawan, then these are your random encounter tables. Centaurs, dryads, wood elves, Nawanian ghouls, lions, 3 types of men, which are the most common because, they're sitting at the top of the bell curve from 35 to 66% chance. Ogres, satyrs, spitting snakes, unicorns. And you have similar stuff in the mountains. But yeah, you can use these instead of the standard wandering monster tables for things in the world of Lankmar here. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff for cold regions. Winter elves as wood elves. Although demi-humans are never mentioned as being encountered, there is a mention when Fafhrd and Grey Mouse are climbing Stardock in the story Stardock, where they talk about winter elves. But it's pretty clear that Fritz Leiber wanted to stay as far away from Tolkienian fantasy as possible. He was focused on his two lecherous, but still wonderful and noble-hearted fighter thieves. So we come then to the non-human deities, which is not something I necessarily think that my Greyhawk campaign needs. My Greyhawk, not all Greyhawk campaigns, not the Greyhawk campaigns that exist, not yours. I'm just saying mine, because evil beings and good beings have a plethora of Greyhawk deities that they can worship without getting into demi-humans. Now, I full well know that that's a bit of a contradiction, because you've got Loth, and then you've got Blibdoolpoop, and then what's her name? The fungus, Zugmatoi. But you do what you want. We're just going to look at the section for non-human deities. We have another lovely font up here, which I don't. Yeah, that's not a. Don't try and copy it to make a true type font out of it. Is Moradin in this section? Yes. All right. There is a whole host of creatures which have been created for the game of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons that have either been or spawned from the minds of myths and past man, or created entirely from the minds of the game masters. Such a wide diversity of creatures and subcultures requires an equally wide diversity of deities and lesser beings of power. It's your opinion, Jim? The non-human races occupy different places in every dungeon master's individual world. Therefore, it would be extremely difficult to create a complete pantheons of non-human gods that would be appropriate to every campaign. This section seeks only to outline some major beings of important, I think that's a typo, of importance to the races created in the AD&D family. A complete pantheon of all dwarven gods, demigods, and heroes can easily be imagined, but its complete notation is too awesome a task for work of this limited size, as would be the complete notation of the deities of any of the non-human races. Let this section serve as a springboard for the DM. It presents a start for any extensive pantheon that the referee feels he or she may need. As humanoid shamans and witch doctors increase in level, they also increase to a degree in hit dice and combat ability. For each level of ability above the first, the shaman adds 1 to 4 hit points to his or her total. For every 2 levels of shaman ability, the creature fights as if it were 1 hit die better on the attack matrix for monsters. Greetings, Gene! Haven't seen you around. How are you? It's good to see you. Witch Doctor's clerical, shaman, and magic user levels are not added together, but are paired like multi-classed characters. They gain 2 to 5 hit points for each level above first as long as they advance them in tandem, but only the normal 1 to 4 hit points per level when their shaman abilities surpass their maximum magic user abilities. The levels of experience of Witch Doctor's magic user abilities are not detailed in this volume, but may be found in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Hey, I powered through 24 hours. You can sit up for my live stream. No, don't do that. It's going to be fun come March for the 3rd anniversary of the show. Yeah, the 3rd anniversary of the show. When I do a 24-hour show. That's going to be fun. And we'll have a big pot of coffee. Anyway, examples. A 4th level Knoll Shaman would have the following hit dice. 2d8 his normal amount plus 3d4 his shaman bonus. He would fight as a 4 hit die monster. A 5th level Goblin Shaman would have 4d4 plus 1 to 7 points and would fight as a 3 minus 1 or 2 to 3 plus hit die monster. A 3/3 orc witch doctor would have 1d8 plus 2d4 plus 2 hit points and would fight as a 2 hit die monster. Note, the following beings from the Monster Manual and Fiend Folio should be treated as lesser gods, though they rarely have human worshippers. So, demons, Demogorgon, Geoblex, Orcus, you know who, devils, Asmodeus, Beelzebul, Dispater, Geryon, dragons, Bahamut, and Tiamat. In the Fiend Folio, Demon Loth, detailed in this volume, Elemental Princes of Evil, and the Slod, Zendam, and Yorl. Holy crap, does Hedgorgek have a camel toe? I think it does. Hrugek, lesser god. He's the god of bugbears. He's chaotic evil. 15th level cleric, fighter, 16 as a 16th level monster. Good stats across the board, except for wisdom. His charisma is 7, but it's 23 to bugbears. Bugbears have a simple pantheon of 6 deities, including the gods of the earth, death, fertility, hunting, and fear. Hrugek, the god of battle, is the most powerful and important, though he doesn't rule the others. Hrugek appears as a huge, powerful bugbear with great fangs and clawed hands and feet. These clawed hands can each strike for 2 to 16 points of damage. He wields a 10-foot plus 3 Morning Star that does 3 to 30 points of damage. He lives in a great cave in Pandemonium, which is decorated with the severed heads of his conquered opponents. Bugbear shamans worship Hrugek by offering him the blood of their enemies. The shaman's status is dependent on how many enemies they have defeated. Bugbear shamans can rise to the 5th level in clerical ability. Hey, how's it going? So that's Hrugek. Centaurs, Scarret the Forester. A lesser god, 290 hit points. Neutral tends to chaotic good. Neutral and chaotic good. Centaurs and satyrs. Great arrangement of stats. Scarret, 9th level bard. I think we got some fighter levels, yeah. 10th level magic user illusionist, fights as a 16th level or 16 HD monster, and 14th level cleric druid. He represents a great guiding hand of the forces of nature that keep everything in balance. He maintains the forest so that all of its denizens can fulfill their proper roles. He provides prey for the hunters and food for the hunted. Scarret can appear in the form of any creature of the forest, and sometimes his spirit seems to temporarily possess various plants and animals to enable them to carry out his will. Centaurs often portray Scarret as the most perfect example of their own race, and in this form he wields a bow and +3 spear that strike for 2 to 20 points of damage plus strength bonuses. As a centaur, he is armor class 2 and moves at a rate of 21 inches. When in the forest, all opponents are -4 to hit him as the branches from the trees move to block blows, leaves fly in attackers' faces, etc. Centaurs worship Scarret through dances and mock hunts on every night of the full moon. Centaur shamans may advance up to the 3rd level. Many satyrs also worship Scarret, though they have no clerical members. All right, here we are, finally. So quit you griping at me. Dwarves, Moradin, Greater God, the Soul Forger, 400 hit points, 2 attacks for 18 to 54 points, special defenses, forged weapons cannot harm him. Bring your knacked spears of obsidian, because that's all you're going to hit him with. Lawful good, his worshippers align as lawful good in dwarves. Cleric druid, 15th level cleric, 14th level druid, 20th level fighter, 19th level magic user. Just a raft of great stats. Oh. Moradin is the head of a fairly large pantheon of dwarven deities. The exact members of this pantheon vary from clan to clan. It is said that Moradin created the race of the dwarves from iron and mithril, forging them in the fires at the center of the world. The dwarf souls entered their bodies when Moradin blew on his creations to cool them. Moradin's symbol and weapon is a huge glowing hammer. It is a +5 weapon and strikes for 4 to 40 points of damage. It cannot be used by any save the god himself, and as it disappears from others' hands and returns to its owner. He wears magical armor and shield of his own making, which gives him armor class -9. This equipment cannot be removed from his body by any save Moradin. The center of a shrine to Moradin is always the great ever-burning hearth and forge. Sacrifices, be they of common or precious metal, are melted down at the forge and reformed into shapes usable by the clergy of Moradin. Non-player dwarven clerics can rise as high as the 7th level, though this usually takes hundreds of years. Other dwarven gods include Clangadane, the god of battle, Dumathoin, god of secrets under mountains, and Abathor, evil god of greed. Elves! Corellon Letharian, a greater god, 350 hit points, a 2 to 20 damaging longbow, or a 3 to 30 with a +9 sword. He is chaotic good. He is a 13th level cleric druid, 20th level ranger, 20th level magic user illusionist, and a 15th level bard with 25s across the board except constitution and strength. Corellon Letharian represents the highest ideals of elvenkind. He, and they put that in quotes, is skilled in all the arts and crafts and is the patron of music, poetry, and magic. And that is Errol Otis's art of Corellon, by the way. The god is also mighty in battle and is said to have personally banished such demons as Loth from the sunlit upper world. Elven lore states that the race of elves sprang from the drops of blood Corellon shed in this epic battle. Corellon Letharian uses a magical bow. Arrows fired from it never miss their target and do 2 to 20 points of damage. He also has a +5 magic sword made from a star that strikes for 3 to 30 points of damage and always detects which of the god's opponents are the most dangerous. Any other being who picks up this sword will be burned for 10 to 100 points of damage. So hey, like a 5th or 6th level magic user might be okay. You know, if they get slightly above average, they could potentially survive it. Corellon's clerics always wear a blue quarter moon talisman. Non-player character elven clerics can attain the 7th level. The elves build no shrines, but always use natural geological formations or amphitheaters for places of worship. Other elven deities include Rilithane Ralathil, god of nature, Lebelis Enorith, god of longevity, and Hanali Selenil, goddess of romantic love. Elves aquatic. Deep Shalisas Sashalas. Lesser god, armor class -3, 300 hit points. Does double damage underwater, 100% magic resistance underwater, magic resistance standard out of water, chaotic good aquatic elves and sailors. Symbol is a dolphin, plane is Olympus, 19th level cleric, 15th level fighter, 12th level magic user illusionist, 10th level bard. Sashalas is the knowledgeable one, the being who always knows where food or the enemy can be found. Sounds like my kind of guy. He is master of the dolphins, and 20 of their strongest always follow him in the sea. Mortal sailors sacrifice to the god for their safety, and aquatic elven clerics take these offerings and trade with other mortals for the gain of the entire race. Clerics of Sashalas with time their religious ceremonies to coincide with especially high or low tides. The sea elves, like their friends the dolphins, are mortal enemies of sharks. Clerics will often conduct ritual shark hunts. They, like their cousins, can advance to the 7th level of clerical ability. Some were, yes, Gene, some of these did show up in Dragon Magazine. Elves, drow. Loth, Demon Queen of Spiders. We've talked about her before. She is chaotic evil. She is fights as a 16 plus hit die monster. Magic user illusionist, see below. Has awesome stats. The Dark Elves worship demon lords from the abyss. The best known example is the worship of the demon Queen Loth. Drow sacrifice both blood of others and riches to her. For particulars, see Advanced D&D Dungeon Module D3 Vault of the Drow and Q1 Queen of the Demon Web Pits, which we have covered in a deep dive reading a few months ago. Female Drow with wisdoms of 18 can progress as high as the 14th level of clerical ability. And there's more. Don't think that's all. Stop complaining, human. You agreed to wax play on the first date. Anyway, the demoness Loth is a very powerful and feared demon lord. She usually takes the form of a giant black widow spider when she is on the prime material plane, and sometimes assumes this form when on her own plane as well, but she also enjoys appearing as an exquisitely beautiful female dark elf. The statistics for this form are given in parentheses. Little is known about her aims, and only the fact that Drow worship of Loth causes her to assume form on the earth permits compilation of any substantial information whatsoever. She seems nice. Loth enjoys the company of spiders of all sorts, giant species while in her arachnid shape, those of normal, large, and even huge species while in her humanoid form. She's able to converse with all kinds of spiders, and they understand and obey her unquestioningly. Although the Queen of Spiders has but 66 hit points, her high armor class prevents most damage, and she is able to heal herself at will up to thrice per day. As Loth enjoys roving about in one form or another, she will seldom be encountered in her lair, no matter what the plane, unless worshippers have invoked her to some special shrine or temple. TJ, I eat pineapple on pizza, and don't threaten me with a good time. In the form of a giant spider, she's able to cast web strands up to 30 feet long from her abdominal spinnerets, which are equal to web spells, with the addition of 1 to 4 points of damage per round, accruing to web victims due to a poisonous excretion upon the strands. And during the same melee round, she is able to deliver a vicious biting attack for 4 to 16 points of damage, plus death if the victim fails to make his, her, or its saving throw versus poison at -4. In her humanoid form, Loth will use weapons common to Drow. As a giant spider, the demoness can use any one of the following powers: 1 per melee round at will, comprehend language, confusion, darkness 10-foot radius, dispel magic, once per day, gate in a type 1 demon, 45% chance, type 2, 35% chance, or type 3, 20% chance demon, with 66% chance of success. 66% of the time, works 100% of the time. Let's see, summon 9 to 16 large, huge, giant, or 1 to 4 phase spiders with 20, 30, 40, and 10% chance. Teleport with no error, tongues, true seeing, twice per day, use phase door, read magic, and shape change. In her humanoid shape, Loth is a 16th level cleric, 14th level magic user with commensurate abilities. However, in spider form, she is unable to wear armor of any sort, and her psionic powers are lost. Loth is not affected by weapons which are not magical. Silver does her no harm, and unless magic to +1. And cold, electrical, and gas attack forms only cause 1/2 damage. Acid, magic missiles, if her magic resistance fails her, of course, and poison affects the demoness normally. You wouldn't think poison. You honestly wouldn't think poison. Loth is especially susceptible to holy water, taking 6 points of damage from a splash and 6 to 21 points from a direct hit. It's possible that 4 characters could off Loth in the first round. The visual range of the demoness extends into the infrared and ultraviolet spectrums to a normal distance of 120 feet. Loth has limited telepathic communication ability, as do demons in general. Loth's psionic disciplines are the minor devotions of body equilibrium, clairvoyance, domination, and the major sciences of dimension walking, mind bar, molecular rearrangement, and probability travel. These disciplines, as well as their magic powers, are performed at 16th level of ability experience. Rilliphane Ralathil, the Leaf Lord. Lesser God, 317 hit points. 14th level Cleric Druid, 15th level Ranger, 12th level Magic User Illusionist, and a 10th level Bard with a healthy set of stats. Rilliphane is often likened by his clerics to a giant ethereal oak tree so huge that its roots mingle with the roots of every other plant in the world. On a more mundane level, Rilliphane can appear on the prime material plane as a green-skinned elf clad in bark armor and carrying a magical bow. Let me check something real quick here. Arrows shot from this bow always slay their target if they hit, no saving throw. Rilliphane is primarily concerned that all creatures have the opportunity to act out their roles in natures without abusing them. Sorry, my nose is just itching. Rilliphane's clerics are deadly enemies to those that hunt for sport and those that harm trees maliciously or unnecessarily. While the majority of the Wood Elves worship Rilliphane, many of those more neutral in alignment prefer to honor Scareth the Forester Sea Centaurs. There's no friction between the two cults. Non-player characters, clerics can both can work up to 7th level. Ettins, Sea Hill Giants. Giants, fire. And their deity is Surtur. Fire giants can rise up to the 7th level as shamans. As a talisman, fire giant shamans often carry a severed head, usually human, that has been cured and dipped in molten steel. Convenient, that. Grolantor is the god of the hill giants. He's a lesser god. He has 259 hit points. He's chaotic evil. He fights as a 10th. Can be a 10th level cleric, fights as a 16 hit die monster. He's actually not physically unattractive. Grolantor appears to be a huge and powerful hill giant. He wields a huge club named Dwarf Crusher that hits for 4 to 40 points of damage, and he usually wears several belts of woven dwarf beards. Grolantor's creed is persecution of all inferior races, i.e. those of smaller than hill giants. Hill giant shamans will refuse to admit that other giants are actually larger than they, preferring to think of them as equals. Hill giant shamans range up to the 7th level of clerical ability. Ettins also worship Grolantor, although in a slightly different two-headed aspect. However, this does not necessarily make them friendly towards hill giants. Despite, or perhaps because of, their two heads, Ettins are less wise than hill giants and cannot become greater than 3rd level shamans. And we're gonna ease to a stop on the non-humans here. With Scoreus Stonebones, the god of the hill giants, a lesser god, 380 hit points, damage per attack 6 to 60, can cause an earthquake, regenerate +2 or better weapons to hit, neutral. He's neutral. He's a 15th level cleric. He's a 16 hit die monster. He's a 12th level magic user. You know him, you love him. Scoreus is the living rock, a huge granite humanoid who lies at the heart of the world. He knows everything that happens about him in areas touching rock by listening to the vibrations that are carried to him. Stonebones will never venture above ground, and he cannot even be gated there. He can strike with his fist for 6 to 60 points of damage each. Scoreus can cast 1 earthquake spell per round. At the 30th level of ability, he can also instantly summon 2 to 20 stone giants to his aid. Stone giant shamans cultivate an attitude of indifference and aloofness. It is their belief that the doings of lesser mortals should have little influence upon the affairs of stone giants. They regard both law and chaos with suspicion and are inclined to repulse the overtures of either. Stone giant shamans can attain the 7th level of ability. There's you know who, and we'll mention them just briefly. We're not going to go into Garl. We're gonna wrap up for tonight's read. So Gnolls worship the demon prince you know who. Gnoll shamans compel worship of you know who through fear of the god's wrath should he be slighted. You know whose symbol is the triple flail, and all of his shamans can wield similar though non-magical weapons. Gnoll shamans can advance up to the 5th level of clerical ability. So as far as I know, yes, we are playing. Never fear. Just to throw this over, you know where. Yeah. Just had to send that invite link to the right folks. That's just it, wave of mutilation. They're not pants. He's not wearing any. I'll leave the rest to your imagination. The things that I don't leave to people's imagination, of course, is their participation on this YouTube station. First of all, thank you to everyone who subscribed recently. I've seen an uptick. I see you! For 1,000 years, I have watched you! So I appreciate it greatly. And if you're just stopping by, if you're wondering, what in the hell is this guy yelling at the camera about? It's Dungeons and Dragons, man. I do this 5 nights a week. Well, we give over some time to the folks who enjoy the classic Traveler. But 5 nights a week, you get classic role-playing games around here. If you like what you see, if you like the content, if you like the tude, huh? You feeling it? Please click that subscribe button. Click the bell icon for notifications. It does a lot of help. Leave a comment down below and tell us what you like. All right? Give it a thumbs up. So that, I'm throwing down the mad rhymes. To not do so would be crimes. I did just hit you with some False of Doom, Jimmy Invictus. They will all drown in lakes of blood. Now they will know why they are afraid of the dark. Now they will know why they fear the night. Anyway, so yeah, just click the subscribe button. Like I said. Now, you can support the show if you like. We have many options. You don't have to super chat me. You can support us on Patreon. You can support us on Subscribestar. You can support us by just buying a coffee, or you can support us directly through PayPal. It's all good. But anyway, if you choose to do that, thank you very much. Some folks have, and to those folks specifically, I thank them for that. So let me just take a moment. Let me just pause in my ramblings and gamblings and say thank you to Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword, Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damon247, James F. Keck. Is that like THX 1138? Anyway. William Smith, the Dungeon Minister, Manny Wall, Mark Corey, Kevin Wood. I know Kevin longer than I have it. Todd Sharp, Carnivore Farmer, Rob, Jeremy Rule, Bo Ganora, Mikey Mank, the Sky Hernstrom, Pete Sullivan, and the DM's Council are our band, of course, and Baron Von Headbanger. So thank you very much. No, the band that does the music for the show is, of course, are of course the inimitable Bards of Greyhawk, and I love them for what they've done for the show. I'm going to be setting up, so we're going to have some. We're going to have in the new year. We're going to have an outro where actually it's not just going to be like bye, and then me staring awkwardly at the camera, waiting for the indication that the stream has stopped to start moving. You know that. Did you ever watch Police Squad with Leslie Nielsen, the Zucker brothers? Like 7 episodes on ABC. It was fantastic, but they pretend to freeze like they used to on the old cop shows and stuff like that, and they would flash the credits. Well, on Police Squad, the actors would try and stand still, and there'd be stuff like, you know, an oscillating fan behind them, or the perp that they brought in would realize they weren't moving, and he would try to, you know, run out of the building, but all the doors were locked. Good times. So no, we'll actually fade to black and have some music on in the new year, because my buddy Bob Antone wrote a song about owl bears that is great, and I think it's going to be awesome ending credits when I do those up in the new year. But the music you hear when the show starts is, of course, the incredible Summer Mountains, composed by Bards of Greyhawk just for this show. And I thank them from the bottom of my heart. That is such a lovely piece of music. I'll play it in its entirety one of these days. Are you guys still talking about the damn anchovies on pizza and pineapple on pizza? Guys, pineapple on pizza is good. It tastes good. The sweet balanced with the salty, it's good. Okay? Although I will say the best pizza ever, pineapple on pizza is good, but the best pizza ever, there's a local place called Broadway Pizza. Pepperoni, mushroom, feta cheese, sun-dried tomato. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. No, it doesn't, Dungeon Minister. Lies make baby Jesus cry. I'll tell the diocese that you get on this show in the audience and you lie. Do you want that? You don't want that. Pineapple. Thank you, Jimmy Invictus. Finally. Now, I will say I don't mind anchovies. I think anchovies, they've just got a sharp, fishy taste. I'll tell you, here's a little story about anchovies, or not about anchovies, but about sardines. So the story goes, when I was a toddler, my mom went out to the grocery store or to the laundromat in the apartments we lived in or something like that. But anyway, oh my gosh, you guys are going crazy. Anyway, so my mom was out, and this is the story. I used to think sardines were gross and disgusting when I was an adult. I went over to my parents' house, and it's in my early 20s or something. My old man's sitting back on the couch, and he's got a stack of Louis L'Amour books. He's got like Thursday Night Football on or something, and he's eating sardines on saltine crackers. And so I tried one. He kept getting them. They were sardines packed in mustard. And I tried one, and it was delicious. And it was then that my dad told me, when I was a toddler, Mom was out, and I would go up to my dad's chair as Dad sat there eating sardines on crackers. I would demand sardines from my dad. And he's reminding me a lot. I don't remember any of this, but my mom confirmed it. Mom comes home, and for every sardine that my dad ate, I demanded one. So my old man is sitting there with his pocket knife, skewering sardines and holding them out. And I'm chew and swallow more. And I'd shake the side of his chair and want more. So my dad feeding sardines off of a pocket knife blade to me. Mom came in and she was like, what are you doing? I said, he won't leave me alone. He won't let me stop feeding him. Oh, I love that story, and I wish I could remember it. But fast forward 30 years almost, and I was over at the folks' house, and I was commenting on how disgusting I thought sardines were, and Dad's Dad starts telling me this story after I tried one. And anyway, I just it was a great moment. So I like the taste of anchovies or sardines. Okay, I'm sorry, sardines. So that's my sardine story. We're waiting for one other player who will be along shortly. But yeah, good times. But sardines are okay. They're not like, I don't like go to the store and say, hey, I'm going to get some sardines packed in mustard and eat them. But if I saw them, if somebody was like, hey, I'm opening a can of sardines, you want some? I said, sure. Opossum brands. I don't remember what these specific brand of sardines that Dad like were. I remember that like the can was red, but I think like all sardines come in a red tin, don't they? And no interest in trying Limburger. You know what the best sandwich, and it's in season if you're gonna be in Florida between now and like the first week of January. Get yourself down to Publix. They're a supermarket here. They're everywhere. I've been told no, Publix is everywhere now, Bill. So it's out. We've loosed Publix upon the world, but you're gonna thank me because at Publix, and Doomsword will back me up on this, I'm sure, when he gets here. The holiday sub at Publix, you get a multi-grain roll, oven roasted turkey, sliced sandwich style, Gruyere cheese, cranberry relish, and a couple of pieces of bacon. It is to die for, man. It is delicious. It is absolutely fantastic, and I do recommend getting you one if you have the means. But speaking of people who have the means, I got me some men without any fear. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Gamma World is here. Say hello to the one and thankfully only Bogo Jorts.
Howdy.
Kevin as Shavanki.
Hello.
The man who brings doom, swords, death, and he's a master of them all, playing Numbers Rab, my buddy Doomsword. How are you? Good to see you guys. Welcome to Friday. Now, we do have another player who will be joining us this evening. I've got plans. Don't you fear. So, sorry, I just got to try out. I just got to enjoy my mug here. This is Tracy Lesh, original Tracy Lesh art on this mug. And if you don't know who Tracy Lesh is, you don't know your D&D history. But what I'll get on you guys about that some other time, because in the house we have this group of seekers. You are out on a road in the wilderness in your ancient ground vehicle, and you have just met Shavanki and fought a forestry robot or some kind of robot that attempted to exterminate Bogo Jorts. It just doused Bogo Jorts in insecticide and then tried to haul him away. But you put paid to it. So what do you wish to do now, Seekers? Oh, and you also just avoided an attack by 4 Blash
So what's up with these guys in the car? Are we just gonna like they're just dead, or most of them, or some of them?
Well, James unfortunately is not going to be joining us again, and I haven't heard from our other players, so they have fallen ill. They some of the radiation or poisons, you're not sure, from the city have affected them, and they have fallen ill and are alive but in deep comas. So
it's weekend at Bogos.
I'm sorry?
It's weekend at Bogos.
Yes. So you have perhaps a day's travel in the ground car. You think it's a little hard to tell, given that many of the gauges in the ground car don't function properly anymore. You think you've got enough fuel to get back to the stronghold, or you could explore around. It's entirely up to you guys. It's a sandbox. Go play in the sand with the other kids.
Well, we should probably bring Shivkoni to the stronghold. See what they think of him there. At least if we're going to use it as a home base in the future. Otherwise, looks like we're on our own, and it's in the wasteland out there.
Alrighty. Well, that's one vote for back to stronghold.
I'm totally okay with that if you guys help me when they try to murder me.
There's a bunch
Bogo
of them over
will
there that I
ride
don't like.
where the car takes him.
Alrighty. So it sounds like you're going to head in that direction.
It does indeed.
All right. So let's go ahead then and just have a quick check. Okay. We're going to say that a day of travel in your vehicle back towards Stronghold passes, and nothing untoward jumps out at you. Although I should be using a different die. Okay, so it's towards the end of the next day. You must be getting close to Stronghold. The woods and jungle have given way to grasslands, and the grasslands have given way to dry, arid plains. You've passed the occasional uninteresting ruin. Some of them are kind of interesting, but even at the distance you can see them, they're giving off so much radiation it's making you itch. So let's have us a quick gander and see if anything else of note you find in that area. So I'm guessing that Chef Coney, you were able to kind of tell people about your sad life of alternately getting beaten up and comforted by friends and family.
Right. Yep. Yeah. It was initially a very unfriendly and pathetic existence while others beat me to death, and then later on, when I recovered from being beat to death, then it was a very lonely and let's say singular experience from that point forward.
Sounds like fun.
In the rear view, it actually looks like it might have been pretty fun.
Yeah.
A singularity you are.
All right, so as you are driving along, you see a large, well, let's see, depends on how many. You see a small group of Sleeth standing on the side of the road. You are, well, Numbers, you're not surprised at all. The rest of you are not surprised. They are also not surprised, but they do kind of jump out of the clearing. Do you? It's a little difficult for them to hide because they're 3 meters tall. Do you stop the car? Do you keep going, or what?
Yeah. No, I stopped the car. We've had friendly interactions with these guys before, and I still do have my URIV goggles on, my new UVIR rather goggles on, my new toy. I'll stop the car and I'll get out, hold my hand up in the air.
Okay. You feel a telepathic message. In fact, all of you feel a telepathic message in your minds as the leader thinks at you with its cold, lizardy thoughts. Halt! Who goes there?
All right, I think back. Can I do that? Is that how we've communicated with them before?
He can
talk to them.
You'll have to talk to them unless you kind of give him permission to send to open up a communication to your mind.
Right, gotcha. I'll yell out. It is I, Numbers Rab, and my companions Bogo, Jorts, and Chef Coney. You have met us before. We are friends of the Sleeth.
Okay. What is Numbers' charisma?
That would be 18.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they don't know you, but they kind of limber up and leap out of the dust and approach you. They have spears. One of them has a large, bulky, some type of projector or energy thrower or something like that, and they approach. He's got it on a cord slung around his neck, and he's holding up both of his hands. The others are still holding on to their spears, but he approaches to within 10 meters of your ground vehicle and says, I do not know. He speaks common. I do not know you, Numbers Rab. But you seem to be friendly enough. What news from the distant ruins? And he kind of waves in the direction of the city you came.
Not a lot. There were problems along the way. Several things we discovered. Some things important, some things not so much. We did encounter a band of Sleeth. Fine fellows, if I might say so myself. And made friendship with them.
That is good. We have moved many leagues from the north to escape the biting cold of the winters to these warmer climes. So perhaps you saw some pioneers. I trust we are not intruding upon any lands that belong to you or your kin, Numbers Rab.
Well, do I look like I have any lands?
Yes. And the other all kind of chuckle in their sort of hissing, chuckly way. Yes, it is. Little can be held in such uncertain times.
Indeed.
Where do you go?
We go back to the Stronghold, a place which has served as our base of operations and which holds some safety.
He kind of scratches under his own jaw a little bit and says, well, farewell in your travels, you and your companions, Numbers Rab, and thank you for warning us about the ruins. In that direction, we shall avoid them.
And that would be wise. Many of the folks there are not open-minded. You know how these times are. Perhaps you have something you'd like to trade, however. I know the Sleeth do enjoy their bartering.
We do look for such things. We are No merchants, but perhaps something we have would be of interest to you. And he hisses something in the sleethy tongue to one of his companions, who lopes up and takes a ruck off his back, unzips it, and, well, unties knots in it, and lays a cloth out, rolls it out. And there's many odds and ends there. You're not sure about the functions of a lot of them. Let me see. Okay, so he has some bits and pieces of various junk. He's got hand weapons. He's got some knives that appear to be of sharpened alloy, some spearheads, arrows, some bundles of dried fruit and meats.
What kind of hand weapons?
Knives, small, small axes, that sort of thing. And he has, let's see, I'm going to say he's got one. He's got one interesting item in a battered but mostly intact looking container there. No, he does not have that.
No
Sorry,
more nukes.
He's not hauling a stasis chamber around with him. Sorry, it's just, yeah, I'm just dragging this, 2-meter diameter, 3-meter long cylinder and a small reactor to power it around with me in my backpack. No, he's not. Sorry, headphone users.
He has a Windows machine?
Yes. he's got a Windows laptop with a...
He's fancy. He has Windows 10, yo.
So he has a... Trying to find the exact entry so I can tell you. He's got a large shining metallic cylinder that has a logo on it that you recognize. There is a circle with a red T or plus symbol in it, and it appears to still be sealed. So you're not precisely sure but what that is, but otherwise it's like car rear view mirror, a fork missing a couple of times. He does have a length of rope, like climbing rope, that's coiled up quite nicely. He's got some old crescent wrenches. He's got scorched books, like I said, the dried fruit, and so on.
All right. Yeah, he don't have any hydrogen cells or anything like that, obviously.
He does not. Like I said, the only thing of artifact quality that catches your eyes is the metal cylinder with the plus logo on it.
Can Bogo use his heightened intelligence to try to figure out what that artifact is?
Give me a D percentage roll, please.
Dun-dun-dun. 48 minus 2, so 46.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a piece of medical equipment of some kind. It's an ancient piece of medical equipment, and it appears to be in perfect condition. But beyond that, not as such. No.
Well, most of what I have to trade is part of the car. You want to take a look?
They lope over and start roaming around, and they're looking at it, looking over it, sort of wiggling various parts, antenna stubs and whatnot. Yeah, they don't really seem to be interested in trading stuff for. Well, what are you shopping for? Let me ask you that.
You see anything here that interests you in maybe a trade for the shiny?
No, but just what is Chef Tony doing, and where is he at? Kevin, are you awake, buddy? I think Kevin nodded out on us.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
My mute button didn't work. I'm doing my best to stay out of comms, but my problem isn't about communication, so I guess when they're near the car, they're near me. I'm in the car.
Okay. One of them begins to hiss and beat on the car and lunge through the open windows. He's trying to trying to get at you. He's unlimbering his spear. The other Sleeth are like, what is happening? What is going on?
Shut it down. It's his mutations. He's a friend. He smells sometimes pretty badly, and he's not very pretty to look at, but he's a friend, I assure you.
If he won't back off, I'm going to see if I can get out of the other side of the car.
Okay. So you go ahead and roll initiative then, Kevin.
All right. I got a 2, of course.
Okay, well, you're in luck because he only rolled a 1, so you bail out the other side as he is beating himself against the near side.
And I'm doing my standard operating procedure number 1, which is run away.
Okay. Okay, as soon as you get distance, because his fellows are grabbing him quite successfully, actually. I rolled 19, 19, 18 for the Sleeth to grab their companion, and he settles down and kind of blinks 4 times, twice, but then he's got that inner nictating membrane, and he looks around and goes, "I do not understand. I approached the human and desired to kill him."
He has had that effect on people. I didn't warn you because I assumed with your obviously superior intellect that such things would not be a problem for the peaceful Sleeth. It is rather disappointing that I came. We have committed great offense, numbers rab, and as such we are, how do you say, embarrassed of ourselves. This is not the way of the Sleeth. We only act in defense. Yes, defense. In defense. Yes. They're all in agreement that they only attack in defense, and they don't know what. In defense, he's down the road. You scared him off.
Yeah, well, how can we mend this breach between Numbers Rab and your tribe and ourselves.
I would normally say to think nothing of it. However, my last experience with the Sleeth did have a similar occurrence, and it ended up with me parting with a treasured weapon of mine, which I gave to a Sleeth boy. And then things were smoothed over, and that is how I became friend of the Sleeth. So perhaps a gift in kind would go a long way toward repairing the relationship.
They debate this for a little bit, but under the circumstances, I'm going to, and with your charisma, I'm going to modify that roll and say that they agree and ask you what the nature of the weapon was. We have swords, we have spears, we have knives of stabbing and throwing. Numbers Rab.
I gave him a very valuable crossbow, and he enjoyed it. In fact, his father was pleased that he could train him in the arts of archery.
Yes, a good gift. We have no crossbow, but please. He goes over to basically the rolled out blanket and scoops up a handful of 6 throwing knives in a like a leather, almost bandolier kind of thing, and says, "These are the only weapons of attacking at distance that we have."
Fair enough. We will gladly accept that. If there's anything we have that we can trade for the shiny, let me know. I feel it would be most beneficial to our cause.
Okay, so they they don't think they have anything that would be fair in the balance to ask you for in exchange for the small cylinder. So not, I mean, they know you're not, you suspect that they know you're not going to give up a firearm for the cylinder or your vehicle, and that's really the only thing. So they're going to have to they're going to have to pass unless you guys have got something that they haven't seen.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm prepared to come off my UV goggles.
Bogo will very slyly pop out the battery from his vibro blade and offer it in exchange for the shiny and what do you guys think he should have as a weapon? Because he's not too good with the vibro blade.
Right, so you're going to give him the vibro blade?
Yeah, without the power source.
Well, if there's any hand munitions, perhaps a ranged weapon would do you good.
Yeah, do they have like a little bow and arrow kind of setup for that? Would be because Bogo's a little guy.
Yeah, no, most of the weapons they've got are for Sleeth or smaller, like Sleeth down to human sized. They don't really have anything for Bogo unless you use one of the throwing knives to stab with. So that's a negatory, unfortunately.
I'm going to stay back until the communication agreements are changed.
Okay.
I just Bogo will just walk up to Numbers and hand him the vibro blade without the battery in it to for him to trade, because he obviously has some rapport built up.
Friends, I understand that you probably don't feel that we have anything of value to trade for the shiny. However, my companion Bogo Jorce has offered me this to perhaps barter for.
Okay. So a vibro weapon still has an edge to it. It's basically just a like some duralloy that uses energy conductor to give it its notorious sharpness. So to them, it would basically function treated as a sword, a class 3 weapon without the blade. And obviously it's only doing sword kind of damage, but yeah, they'll it's an ancient item, and they will trade you the other ancient item for it.
All right. Well, I happen to have a hydrogen cell with 2 charges
Okay.
that I had used to reload a prior weapon, and it's useless to me. So I'll put that in the vibroblade and show them how that works.
Okay, there, you click it on, and it starts glowing. With the heat of the vibroblade energy, they are suitably impressed by it and offer you in exchange the cylinder.
Excellent. I have a
Thank
question there, GM.
Yes.
Do they have anything like a slingshot or anything like that? Or like a wrist, like a wrist launcher, or I mean, you know what I'm trying to say? The slingshots that clamp to your arms.
They don't have anything like that, but they will happily, if it helps smooth things over, they will take one of their slings that they occasionally use for small game hunting and cut the straps short so you can wield it, and we'll just treat it as an AD&D sling. Bullets that is, a round, like a good sized ball bearing. It is bullet ammo, and then stones just you pick up off the ground.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
A most friendly transaction, as I have come to expect from the Sleeth. Perhaps we don't always communicate in the most friendly way at times, but I think we can all say we're friends. Farewell.
Okay, well, they bow, and you travel on through the wasteland.
Does Bogo want to check out this thing? This metal rod with the thing on the end?
Yeah, but Bogo will take a closer look at this shiny.
Okay. Any writing on it is worn off, but you can go ahead and give me a D10 roll if you want to start the process of trying to figure it out.
And I'll gesture back to Shovkoni that the coast is clear once these guys have walked away.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll slowly approach, watching around, just to make sure.
I rolled a 3.
You rolled a 3. Okay, I think that should be sufficient. Well, it should be sufficient for the first roll. Go ahead and roll again.
Okay, do I need to be subtracting 2 from these?
With your intelligence, yeah, you get that bonus. Yeah.
Well, then that would be a 1.
Sure.
Okay, and then after the modification, the total is 6 on the next roll.
A 6. Let's see. That might not be that bad. Depends on the table.
Bogo's gonna bogo.
All right. He killed himself with a Curin dose. I never It was the oddest thing. He just keeled over. The chart said that's what happened. So a 6. Yeah. So basically, you notice that there are 2 triangles on opposite sides near an almost invisible seam around the middle of it. And the one, you roll it around, and you feel a slight puff of released air from the thing, but now you're kind of turning it over in your hands. You try turning it back the other way, nothing happens. You turn it around 360 degrees, nothing happens. So you can give me another roll.
Okay, here we go. Using the green dice now for those keeping score at home. Okay, if I rolled a 1 and I subtract 2, is that a -1?
Well, it just means that it was successful. So now you're like, oh, you don't turn it again. You slide it in half, and there is in the middle of it, in something that's spongy and black, sort of padded, there is a. We're going to say that there are a total of 1, sort of in the center of it, 1 elongate object. It's about the same diameter as a human's finger. It has writing on squares all over it. You're not sure if it comes out or if it's part of this assembly or what. So you can you want to take another roll?
Sure. Let's push the shiny candy like button.
All right.
And after subtracting 2, 4 is the total.
Yeah, you kind of turn the thing over a couple of times. You mash down on the foam. It doesn't really do anything. Nothing happens, but
I turn with a knowing look and hand it back to Numbers and say, yes, wondrous this is, and just hand it back to him.
All right. Well, Numbers, you're driving, so you can put it in the cup holder, or you can pull over and play with it.
Right. So that's all you got to tell me about it?
It is wondrous.
Well, that's... never mind. We'll check it back out of the stronghold. Throw it in this thing here. This is a reservoir. I can't imagine what the ancients used that for, but to maybe piss in.
Okay. So for
that is enough rolling, Bill.
I only do it because I like the sound it makes.
I don't know what it's called. I just know the sound it makes when it takes a man's life.
Okay. So the rest of your day's drive is entirely uneventful. Thank you, dice gods. Curse you. And you arrive back at the stronghold to initially great fanfare, but then they see your wounded fellows who they take off to the place of healing. You're greeted there by Rex, who says, what news from the city ruins?
All right, first off, Rex, come this way. We have something to discuss.
I'm going to stay in the car.
Okay.
And I'm going to lead Rex away from the car and try to block off anybody from getting close to it. Inconspicuously, of course, if possible.
All right. Rex says, I see you found another outlander to join us, or is he simply trying to bum a ride?
Well, this remains to be seen, you see.
Mm.
Mutations are such that he infects all who behold him with rage and anger and a desire to do him great bodily harm.
Most unfortunate.
Yes, we found him living in a sewer tunnel To call it a sewer tunnel is probably an overstatement. It's basically a freaking hole in the ground. So I'd suggest nobody gets near the car until we can find a way to remedy this situation.
Okay. He contemplates this for a moment and says, I don't want to be cruel, but his future accommodations might need to be somewhere outside the stronghold. I think we could probably do better than a sewer pipe, but to stay inside might be to court potential disaster.
Indeed, and I'm sure he's fine with that. He's used to such a thing, being a solitary guy. I will tell you, he assisted us greatly in the saving of Bogo Jort's life.
Of who?
Bogo Jorts. Right, you haven't met him either, have you?
I have not.
Be prepared to be disappointed.
That is the perfect introduction.
Be prepared to be disappointed. Okay. So he kind of looks around behind you and says, my God, man, what have you done?
We shrunk him.
Looks like he's been left in the laundry too long. Greetings, little fellow. I am Rex Dashington, the trainer for all those who wish to learn the ways of the stronghold and help defend her walls and those who dwell within.
Bogo Jorts will pick up a rock off the ground, put it in the sling, and he's going to try to hit guy in the head. And as he's whirling, he's going to say, "Training, I need not," and so to kind of prove his point.
You're going to try and prang Rex Dashington in the forehead.
Correct.
Okay, so you pick it up and you start to whirl, and I presume you're taking aim. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. See if old Rex.
Ooh, I rolled a 4.
Before you let go, Rex has got a weapon of the ancients out of a holster, pointing it at you, and says, "Numbers, call it off."
Bogo, what the hell are you doing? Come on, man.
Proving training, I need not.
Okay, fine. You don't need your whatever. Apparently, you need training in how to be polite.
Okay. Are you gonna let fly with a rock?
No, I'll stop, and Bogo will drop his head and say, "Ashamed I am."
Rex, we have had a tough time in the wasteland this go around.
Numbers.
Bogo here.
Numbers. Keep that thing on a leash and make sure it's housebroken. Now, let's go meet your rage-inducing friend.
Bogo walks over to old boy and just kind of hugs him on the lower calf and then doesn't let go.
Okay, so yeah, Rex is kind of like holding his leg out away from him as he's walking towards the vehicle. I'm sure it can't be as bad as all that. Probably some pheromonic thing we could get the doc bot to modify, maybe with a surgery or some kind of implant.
Well, only if you don't kill him first. Heal yourself, man.
I do like to kill things. So
this is a serious effect.
He walks over to the vehicle and leans in and sticks his hand out and says, "Greetings, traveler in the waste and dweller of sewers. I am Rex Dashington, Chief Security Officer here at the Stronghold. Who might you be?"
I stick my hand out, of course, completely covered in burlap, and say, "I'm Chepkoni."
Of course you are. Well, welcome to Stronghold. You'll find safety here, and there's good people. I'm sure you'll want to meet all of them.
Yeah, I would like to meet them. I'm not so sure they'd like to meet me. And I'm kind of tired, so running away probably not something I'm wanting to do at the moment. Maybe tomorrow.
But of course. Oh, by the way, Numbers, there's a new recruit here from one of the outlying farming communities who has approached. His name is Omu. I'd like you to meet him.
Bogo is beginning to climb up Rex's power suit to.
He's not wearing his power armor.
Well, he's starting to climb up the side of Rex.
Yeah, Rex is like steadfastly annoying you and kind of shaking his leg to shake you off. It's like he's looking at Numbers Rab. He's kind of got a pleading look in his eyes, and he's yes, his name is Omu, and he's from one of the farming communities at Goodwater, and he would very much like to join the security detail. But I told him, of course, he needed to mesh to be compatible with the. Would you get this thing off me?
Well, as you can see, it's unlikely that he's going to be worse than what we already got.
Of course.
Go, come on. You ain't got to hump Rex's leg.
Right.
Okay, so Bogo just has a really sad puppy dog look in his eyes when he climbs down and walks over and stands by Numbers.
Okay. So we're going to pause for just a quick minute, and then we'll come back and introduce our new player character. Yeah, we'll be right back, family. Okay.
Awesome.
So I'm going to tell y'all with Bill out of the room so he doesn't know. Every time Bogo climbs on something, it's his goal to climb up and sit on the shoulder and give somebody a wet willy. That's his goal. Just so y'all know what's in Bogo's mind. Don't tell Bill.
Hey, I'll be right back too.
Sure thing.
Ghostbusters joke. Come on, you can't say never did anything for you. Remember that time when you tried to drill a hole in your head? I would have succeeded if you hadn't stopped me.
TJ, that's something you'll just have to find out if it happens.
Okay, so Numbers Rab, you and Bogo Jorts, Chefconi, are you now comfortable enough around these folks that you feel like you can get out of the vehicle and mosey around?
Yeah, well, apparently Rex is quite comfortable with me, so I'll follow a distance behind.
Okay, so they're in this kind of open space where there are a few in various states of disrepair, other ground vehicles and just some plain pull carts. There's a door leading inward. Rex approaches it and gestures to someone within. And there before you is a fellow in a white pickle haube.
Hello.
Who approaches you with crackling mic? Very staticky there, my dude.
It's I.
Okay.
It's I. Omu, the cartman.
All right. So, describe yourself to the party.
Okay. Omu is about 6 foot tall. A little past middle age. Around 350 pounds. With green eyes and normal humanoid.
All right. No distinguishing marks, no mutations, anything visible.
He might have a microwave strapped to his back.
You do not have a microwave strapped to your back, but otherwise, same. As
Yeah, I have a little problem. Constantly gain weight. I don't know what it is, but I worked for Goodwater for a very long time, hauling carts. So as long as I'm carrying some extra weight, that kind of keeps it in check. Otherwise, ready for adventure.
yes, well, I'm sure you are. Numbers Rab here is one of my trusted lieutenants now who has learned the ways of defending the stronghold. Isn't that right, Numbers? All right, so
Would love to see what you have in store for exploration.
Well, we take orders right about now. And we'll continue to do it as long as it benefits us. These are good people here in the stronghold. For the most part, I guess. I haven't met them all, but maybe you know more about them than I do. But we await our next orders after some rest and recuperation.
okay, so
GM
mhm.
Bogo is going to go hug Omu's leg and slowly begin to try to climb up the side of Omu.
Okay.
Wait.
Yes, Rex fists on his hip goes, it is quite the friendly little creature, isn't it? He sort of, out of the side of his mouth, sort of leans over at Numbers. You really need to get that thing a harness or something.
Yeah. Well, we almost did. Some nature bot tried to wax him out real quick. Maybe we should let it happen, but I felt bad for the guy.
Well, after you've rested up and we've gotten some accommodations for your psychosis-inducing friend over here squared away, we'll see what other patrols and so on you need to tend to.
I should let you know there's a friendly band of Sleeth near the perimeter. They're exploring around. They kind of said they'd stay away from any of our habitations, but they're out there, and it's the second band we met. So apparently they're migrating north due to harsh winter or some such.
South. They were coming south. But anyway,
mixed up.
But of course, the Sleeth are noble creatures, good at heart, strong warriors. We'll keep our eyes out for them. So he basically, before you get a chance to rest, kind of wants a debrief from you, since you're the only conscious living member of the expedition that left about a week ago. And I can't. Did you guys have this vehicle, or did you leave on foot?
No, we had the vehicle because my old character is the one that learned how to drive it.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Right, and then he died, and I had to figure it out.
Right,
Yeah.
and Bronco just wandered away.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was tired of this crap.
He just wandered away.
Yeah.
Almost as
So-
if blowing away in the wind.
So after you kind of discuss things with him, he's saddened by the casualty losses, intrigued by Chef Coney, asks if you need a hutch built outside for Bogo, and hopes you'll have more success with Omu. He says, I've got some work I need you to put in, but rest up and take advantage of the Stronghold's facilities.
Has
Indeed, we
Bogo
will.
made it up to Omu's shoulder yet?
Unless he has actively tried to stop you, yes.
Stop!
Bogo sits on
Good luck.
Omu's shoulder, wets his finger real good, sticks it right in his ear, and just starts cleaning out his for him.
How did I do
Okay, so he was yelling stop. Was Omu actively trying to stop him?
that? With gestures.
Okay, but you're not like grabbing her. So yeah, you're just sitting there like and then suddenly, plort. There's a wet digit in your ear.
Is there some kind of initiation?
I didn't let him do it to me.
Rex arches an eyebrow and says, "I really don't know what this thing is, but it's nothing. It's nothing we have on the books around here. I can tell you that much."
Is there any way I can get some equipment? All I have is my cart, and it's parked back in Goodwater.
Oh, of course. Before you go out, I'll see to it that you have an appropriate amount of gear. We wouldn't send you out on a patrol or training or for duty without some way to defend and tend to yourself.
Bogo is leaving his finger in Omu's ear. He leans over and whispers, "Mine now you are."
Oh,
What will we do?
God.
Better than
Can
mine.
I get some help here?
You got it.
It's Bungo's version of the charm of making, I guess.
It's prima nocta.
It's like a giant caterpillar came to give you a kiss.
Rex, I should also point out, I have procured this weapon while out in the wasteland through some tough bargaining with the Sleeth, I might add. It's hungry for hydrogen cells, but it keeps us safe.
Okay, he nods and says, "This is it's quite a heavy weapon. Good job recovering it. Very nicely done, Numbers. Are you turning it in at the armory for something different?"
Well, no, I'd actually like more hydrogen cells. However, if you have something lighter and equally as imposing or close to that, then perhaps I can be persuaded to part with it. But I will tell you, it cost me a crossbow and a sword and 3 spears and all my hydrogen cells.
Okay. So this is your Mark 7 blaster you're talking about, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Two hydrogen cells for a total of 5 shots. It's hard to keep this thing powered. It's great, you know.
This would almost work better as an emplaced device, tapped straight into the main power source here at the Stronghold.
Perhaps that's what I was thinking as well. I used it because I didn't have time to bleed.
So he kind of hems and haws a little bit and says, how about you trade it for one of the laser rifles we've uncrated and gotten completely functional?
Will it put a hole in a robot?
My friend, it'll put a hole in anything you shoot it at.
Perfect. Sounds good to me.
All right, so they swap you out a laser rifle for your Mark 7 blaster rifle. Now, as far as Omu is concerned, do you have, is your cart just like a cart? You don't have like tons of trading goods or anything like that in it?
There was corn trade with the Orland, but that's already been traded, so no.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, let's take a gander at this. You have, we're gonna do this the AD&D way because you don't work for free. This is a, you live in a society. Live in a society. And so consequently, you do have Domars to your name. Oh, you did quite well. You've got 150 Domars. So you can absolutely buy some gear here if you wish to join. They've unofficially named your security group the Wasteland Rangers. Yeah, I know it's not original. Sue me.
Yeah, definitely buy a laser pistol if I can.
Okay.
Or whatever's available.
Well, right now, laser weapons are not for sale. However, a crossbow, which is made from alloys and wood and whatnot, is available. It is 100 Domars, and a case of bolts, 15 bolts, is 10 Domars.
That'll work. Yep.
Okay. All right. Are you just buying the 15, or are you buying anything else?
That's it for now.
Okay.
Buy me bullets, you will. Bogo's still sitting on his shoulder with his finger in his ear. He's telling Omu he's going to buy him bullets.
Nope.
All right. So yeah,
Omu will set Bogo down now. Thank you. We'll keep that in mind.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to buy a crossbow and 15 bolts there. The crossbow is made of a very, very sturdy material. The bow part itself is made from the leaf spring of a heavy cargo vehicle, so it's got a lot of tensile strength. This is gonna work out just fine for you, you think? So a couple of days go by. Those who need to rest and heal up may do so. In that time, Chevconi, you only manage to enrage 2 people who come to build you your home, for lack of a better term.
Is it the only 2 people that are helping build the home, or is this a good ratio?
No, this is a pretty good ratio. This is 2 out of 5.
Okay.
And you're standing there, and a couple of guys are walking up with a board, and we lost somebody. We lost Bogo. See, you took Bogo's finger out of your ear, and he disappeared. So a couple of guys walk up with some with some wood and some metal siding to put on your little hutment there, and one of them kind of blinks, stops, carefully sets the wood and metal sidings down, pulls a hammer off his tool belt, and charges straight at you, screaming at the top of his lungs before he's tackled by the other people who are working.
Right. Of course, I run away, a la Zoidberg, I guess. Exactly.
Zoidberg.
Okay, well, I mean, I would help, but it wouldn't help for me to help, so I'll keep my distance and make sure I shout appreciative messages to them as they work on it. Encouraging, appreciative messages.
The other fellow is just kind of a random person who comes out to deliver lunch, and just starts throwing soup tureens at you. They get him to stop.
Tina, here's your dinner. Okay.
All right. So with all that said and done, those who need to rest up. Those who need supplies, you get your supplies. A couple of days have gone by, and now Rex Dashington says, "Rangers, assemble! Got a mission for you."
Do supplies equal any sort of hydrogen cells? Does he have any of those that he can come off of? We can always use those.
Hydrogen cells, let's see.
You still got the 2 that Bogo gave you, right?
I do, but I had to put 1 in this laser rifle, and then I've got 2 partial ones, and I've got 1 full one. But other people need them as well, and that's to me, that's like the gasoline out here.
Right.
Oh yeah, and you need to. Well, somebody needs to check out the shiny, the medical thing. Although maybe Rex will take a look at that for us. But he's kind of greedy. He might want it for himself or the stronghold,
Okay, so the good news about hydrogen energy cells, if you have the right piece of equipment, which there is one here at the stronghold, they can charge the energy cells for you.
Oh, brilliant! That's even better.
Mm-hmm.
So keep the energy cell bodies. Okay.
All right, so I'll go ahead and charge mine up, the ones that are missing charges. So that gives me 4, and I'm good with that.
Okay. And as part of your ranger gear, Omu, they do issue you some armor. They don't want you to go out there completely unprotected.
Nice.
Let's see what you got. Hang on a second. And it's not going to be like power armor or anything like that.
See what'll do, guys.
Yeah, and
So-
if this is normal, I would assume Chef Coney might have the same if he's in the Ranger squad.
I mean, do you ask about joining the Ranger squad, or
Of course, I can't stay
Okay.
here.
okay?
I'll be murdered here.
Yeah,
Alright.
if he
Amount of
doesn't
time.
ask or they don't respond to that, I'll insist.
Yeah, I'll make a point when I see that they're outfitting people that
Okay.
I also would appreciate that, since AC-10 burlap doesn't really defend much.
Nah, that's no good.
Bogo is attempting to climb Omu again.
Well,
Okay. So, what they have to spare is basically it's essentially leather armor and a shield, and it gives you armor class 5.
Okay, fair enough.
yeah, this bit's nice.
Yeah, that's good. I only got a 4 with riot armor.
Okay. So if you're joining the Rangers, you'll have to talk to Rex about it. And he approaches you and immediately seizes up a weapon and then kind of sets it back down. Just kidding you about that strange mutation you have, my friend.
I was like, yeah, that's hilarious. Thanks.
I thought so too. You're a man who maintains his sense of humor in the face of having a crippling mutation. At any rate. So if you wish to join the Rangers, you may. We need all the assistance we can get in slowly trying to bring peace and civilization back to the wasteland and crushing all those who won't accept it. So,
Deus
number
Vult.
indeed, numbers Rab. Come, observe this map. And he's got a bunch of printouts sort of taped together that you think might indicate the land. Through careful study, we've been able to determine that there could be a wealth of information and technology located here, and he indicates a place on the map. He has got the full knife hands going, by the way. Anyone who's seen a presentation given by someone who is in or was recently in the military, he's got the the two-fingered knife hands when he's indicating, and he's in full on that, talking about So I want you to go to Waypoint Alpha here. Then you're going to reconnoiter through Phase Line, Ohio here. Then you're going to advance to this here, which I am told is the ruins of an ancient pre-war city. Now, I would accompany you in my power armor, of course, but there's a new band of raw recruits that require the stern hand of training. Since we don't have your expertise here to defend us, of course, I must train a new batch.
I would have it no other way. I think we got it under control. However, those instructions are fine. I'm good with that. I'm sure my companions are good with that too. I don't know what or who Bogo's going to climb or whatever. That's just what it is. I leave that alone. But I did find another artifact, or we did, and I was wondering if maybe you could give it to one of your brighter and let us know what it is and how it works.
Of course, let's have a look. So Rex is going to make some rolls on this thing, and I unfortunately I don't have Yang's character sheet. Yang, if you're out there, if you're watching, if you could let me know if you've got an intelligence high enough to merit a -1 or a -2 on the artifact rolls. Otherwise, no idea. He's like, aha, I see. You just twist in the arrows and you take the top off. And he's like, yes, I see. You slide this cylinder out. But what could it be? I don't know. So he's kind of toying with it and says, well, the red cross on here tells me that it is probably of a medical nature. I'll take it down to the medical lab and give it to the good doctor bot.
Yeah, what, to help you guys out?
Yes, it might be of some use here in the base, but
you don't think it'll be of use in the field?
Likely not. However, he does trade it to you. There is a what is it? He will trade you a he says, here, this can be useful in the field. The doctor bot says, the humans have returned. How nice to see you. That is what I am told is a joke. It is not nice to see you, but that is also a joke.
Yeah, hilarious. You got me in stitches.
Do you require stitches? A couple of manipulators flip out, and he's got cat gut and a spool and a needle.
Nah, that's a joke. Ha ha ha.
They fold back up. He gives you what is called a cure-in dose for in exchange for that, and it negates the effects of any poison or drug. So if anybody gets poisoned, you get popped with a cure-in dose, it will cure you.
All right. Anybody want to carry that?
I carry a lot of weight. I need all the weight I can carry, or else my weight gets out of condition and I can't move very fast.
There you go.
Yeah, Rex.
And I'll carry BOGO jorts, but no wet willies, okay?
Promises no one makes.
Oh my God. Okay. The solenoid robots from Roger Ramjet. I know what Roger Ramjet is, but I don't I have vague memories of seeing. I was always more of a Rocky and Bullwinkle kind of guy when it came to that run of cartoons. So you basically are traveling to the southeast of where you're located. You're going to be away from the coast, and it is a long distance. He says, I can't guarantee that your ground vehicle will make it on a single tank of fuel, so I've had some of our more gifted engineers modify your vehicle for you.
Excellent.
And the next time you see the vehicle, the trunk space has been cut away, and there are two I only speak freedom units, so if anyone out there knows off the top of your head what a 55-gallon drum is in the communist measurement system, feel free to put it in the chat, or if any of my players do. But it's two 55-gallon drums on kind of a framework that's been set there. And they have been filled up with distilled alcohol, which is the fuel.
Great cart. Where's the handles?
I'm sorry, you were pure static. Nathan.
It's a great cart. Where's the handles? Talking about the ground cart.
Yeah, it does. It's the biggest cart you've ever seen. It doesn't have handles.
The handle's on the inside.
Even better.
So, this bodes ill for the rest of us. I guess I'll sit in the back, where it's less safe.
Just sit in the trunk like you were. It'll be fine.
This is the trunk.
Yeah, the giant metal cylinders full of fuel are the trunk.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I guess that works. Thanks, Mr. Dashington. That was very thoughtful of you.
Well, if there's any place you can locate between here and there that can resupply your fuel, by all means, utilize those facilities to the best of your abilities.
Always
Is there like a bung? I mean, how do we fill these? How do we put? What does it take?
I'm made to understand it takes any liquid that can burn, petroleum-based, alcohol-based, what have you. The turbine engine in this baby slaps the hood, can deliver so many horsepower.
Got any corn? Make corn liquor.
I don't have any on me, I'm afraid. But the people of Goodwater know about the distillation of liquid fuels from corn. Your expertise will be invaluable, my friend. And he slaps you on the back, kind of staggers you forward a little bit.
Yes.
Actually, he slaps you on the back and just kind of watches you recoil from it and goes, my God, it's hypnotic. At any rate. So yeah, you guys have basically got a Mad Max-like car, and you've got instructions to go somewhere on this strange map, which I will share. Let me see if I can find this, and I will show you, the players. And then we'll see if I can't get you guys into some serious trouble before the night's over. Because we got about a half an hour left, unless my players have got someplace else to be on Friday night. Who am I kidding? If you had someplace else to be, you wouldn't be playing role-playing games with a big nerd on the internet.
Gamma World, no less. The nerdiest of the nerd.
I think that's
Yeah.
Bogo now attempts to climb up Bill's pants leg on that one.
Bill will break a beer bottle over Bogo's head. All right. Let's see. Let me see here. I'm looking for a Game World map. This is the whole box set in a PDF, so I will find the map and I will show you guys where it's at. It's not the map of Gamma World that you might be used to, where they have all the weird place names and so on and etc. This is actually just the blank campaign map. All right, so present, share screen, share screen, share screen, share screen. Okay, so I'm not sure how visible this will or will not be, but essentially you all are here. Actually, you're much closer to the sea than that. You're here, and he was indicating an area around here on the map.
All right, yeah, that's a good drive.
And there are not hexagons indicated on your map, but you have a ride in front of you.
So should we pick up some more alcohol?
I'm sorry, should you pick up? Was that a question for your fellow players or a question for the game master?
Yeah, for the players.
And what was it?
Should we pick up some more alcohol for the cart?
I think we're full.
Yeah, your tanks are full up. Your main tank and these two giant auxiliary tanks.
Okay.
And filling them is really easy. There's just two lids that are cut into the sides of these barrels, and they're facing up there on either side. The barrels aren't plumbed together, but they do go into the main fuel tank.
So what are we waiting on,
All right.
guys?
Yep, I guess we're just waiting on the appropriate time to leave, and then we head out.
Okay. So will you head out in the morning or what?
Yeah, I think that's best. I mean, if everybody else is in agreement.
I'm good. Morning's just as well. Hanging around here is just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so you take off in your vehicle and you go about 20 kilometers. You pass, you know what, we'll treat that as you're passing through Goodwater, the farming community that is not very far from the stronghold. And most people here know of ground vehicles like this, you know, but still they're kind of spooked by it coming, and they jump back away from the road. One friendly old fellow is smiling and waving as you drive by, and then it, like, as you glance over, because you're not, you know, you don't have the hammer down or anything because the corn comes right up to the road. His face twists into a snarl of anger, and he's running behind the car, and you hear like a clang. You're not sure if he threw a rock or what. Bounces off the side of the car.
I see. I have fans.
Yeah, we're not stopping for that.
No.
All right, so you ride for a few more hours. Of course, you're well beyond Goodwater at this point. You know, you pass the outer perimeter. There are signs up, you know, for intelligent beings looking for peaceful trade and whatnot, where things can be found. Somebody has crudely painted "Batters need not apply." So, but as you're motoring along late into the afternoon, let's see. Guess we'll treat this as that. Oh, that's wonderful. Swooping down, actually. Yeah, framed against the sky in the distance, you see just this majestic sight, these glorious day glow, blue, green, and orange, predominantly orange winged forms. Numbers, you've seen these so many times. You've all seen them before. They are Yexel, but they are some distance away. They do not appear to be interested in stopping, as they just fly across the afternoon sky.
Perfect.
Agreed.
All right. When night falls, do you intend to keep driving? you've had to. There have been spots along the path that you're taking, especially when you get past good old Outpost 76, where you've had to completely leave the road because there are large chunks of it that are missing, and to continue driving on it would bog your vehicle down. Like, it's safer to get off and go around. So you're not exactly like, oh, hey, from there to about where Atlanta is, that, yeah, we can make it there in 8 hours in a car. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So,
yeah, I figured, hey, boys, what do you want to do? I got a good view with these UV goggles, but I don't know how much I'm going to last in terms of
maybe
staying
scout around
awake.
some. Maybe scout around.
You want to pull off and make camp?
Yeah, let's do that. That way we don't get fatigued.
okay, so you are stopped near, not in the middle of, because it's some distance away. Numbers, you can see this, and it's early enough in the evening that the sun hasn't quite gone down. Off in the distance, there are some ruins.
All right. You guys see that over there?
I'll look over there. What kind of ruins are they? Buildings or?
Yeah, jagged metal and concrete and other alloys.
How far off?
About a kilometer or so.
No, you guys want to head over there and try to seek shelter in something that's already built?
That sounds
sure
good
we
to
can
me.
make it in a few minutes. I don't know what might be inhabiting it already, but you know.
Well, I assure you that they will hate us, or at least me.
Well, it's quite possible we'll hate them too.
Up to you guys.
Yeah, let's if we can go indoors, that'd be good.
Yeah, so I guess we'll hop back in and head over there then, assuming, you know, we can drive that terrain.
Yeah, it's fairly open terrain. The road has a branch that goes in that direction. There's a couple of moments where, again, you have to pull around great holes in the and rents in the ruins, but yeah, you come up to the perimeter of this place. The buildings seem to be largely empty shells, but some of them do still have their roofs.
Yeah, we'll seek one of those out, I suppose.
All right.
I'll stay in the car until these guys, just in case somebody's there. I'll be ready to get out with my vibroblade if something happens, but...
Okay. All right. Numbers. When you guys are looking at one of the more intact buildings, you are not surprised at all, because you never are surprised, nor are the rest of you. Coming out in sort of a classic ambush with two groups on each side are these humanoid dog creatures. They are armed with clubs and have wicker shields, and they are growling, and they are approaching you with their shields up. You recognize them. They're arcs, and they are carnivores.
I'm a carnivore too, so perfect.
Okay.
Almo gets his crossbow ready.
All right.
Bogo loads a bullet in his sling, points at the closest arc, and says, "Bad you are! Bad you are!"
And I'll get out
All
of the
right.
car with my vibroblade ready to run forward. Something
Okay.
comes up.
Yeah, and I'll shoot.
Okay, well, you will get your shot first. So go ahead and shoot. I will just tell you they are armor class 4.
All right, I rolled an 11, and this new weapon is weapon class 13.
Weapon class 13. You rolled an 11. I feel like that's going to hit, but let me get over to the charts here. Gotta just break down and invest in a Gamma World first edition Game Master screen one day. You rolled an 11. It is class 13. Oh yeah, you prang him.
All right, sweet. This one's 66. Not very good. 19.
Okay, so it now smells like barbecued dog. Bogo, you're going to let fly with a rock?
Absolutely.
Omo, you going to shoot at another one?
Yeah.
Okay, and Numbers Rab, you are trying to move up with your vibro blade for a little close quarters combat?
Chef Coney.
I'm sorry, not Chef Coney, sorry.
Yeah. I'm gonna run up to advance. Apparently, they already hate us, so it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, one whirls when it sees you, so four of them. Let's let our new player roll initiative. Why don't you go ahead and roll that, Omu? It's a D6.
3.
It is a tie, so all this is happening at once. Let's let missile fire go first. Those of you about to shoot, take your shots.
Omu rolled 11 to hit and 4 for damage. D6, right?
Yes, it is D6. Your crossbow is weapon class. Let me see. It's weapon class 9, armor class 4, and you rolled an 11. That will unfortunately miss. He's got his wicker shield up as he's moving towards you, and it just thuds into that.
Set the dice.
Okay, Bogo, go ahead and let fly.
Bogo rolls a 2, so he looks rather silly.
Yeah, you're slinging it around, and then you hear this tack, tack, tack behind you as the stone goes somewhere that way. All right, so they all advance. They'll be in melee, except for Shevkoni. This one is close enough to melee you, and you may counterattack it also.
Okay.
And your armor class is 4 or 5?
5.
5, okay.
Is it 5 with the shield? Right?
Yes, it is 5 with the shield.
Okay, so it's 5. Yeah.
All right. All right, so he brings his club down on your shoulder as you're approaching and inflicts 4 points of damage. You may counterattack.
All right, I did. I rolled a 6. I'm attacking with the vibro blade, which is weapon class 5.
That is not going to hit. He whirls out of the way as your vibroblade makes its keening sound cutting through the air. Okay, that ends the round. Numbers, you can fire again as this guy's closing in on you. The rest of you are going to be dealing with these dudes in melee. So
and this guy here is the one I hit before?
Yes.
Come on. That's a 13, so I assume that would be a hit as well.
Yeah.
Looks like a little bit better here. 13, 18, 6, 24, 25.
Oh, yeah. Your beam punches straight through his heart, and he falls to the ground, unmoving. So the rest of you, what are you going to do? Because these guys are going to be up in your faces. I know, Chef Coney, you've got the vibro blade to hand, but what about Omu and Bogo?
Is there anything Omu can pick up and use as a club?
Yeah, there's a bit of metal on the ground you can snatch up.
Okay, so Omu will run up, grab the metal, and try to club one of the dog beasts.
Okay, and what about Bogo?
Bogo is going to enact his once a day force field and give the most evil, mean face he can muster and turn and run away.
Okay, then why don't you go ahead and roll initiative there, Sir Robin?
Five.
Ooh, yeah, baby, rolled a 5.
Okay, so that is another tie. As you're turning, he brings his club down to try and clock you, and misses completely because he's so freaked out by this sudden appearance of a blue halo around the bug, furry bug creature that is now running away. Everybody else, do your melee stuff.
Unfortunately, Chef Coney gets a 4, so I suspect that's a miss. Just like before.
That is a miss, yes.
Yep.
Okay. How about numbers? Numbers should have gone first. Actually, or no, you did go first, and you shot that guy to death. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, I did.
He's fine. For some reason, I was thinking that was end of the last round. Then that just leaves Omu.
Omu rolls 8.
8 is not sufficient. He blocks it with a shield. He counterattacks, but he hits you for 1 point of damage. Chef Coney, you are also struck for 1 point of damage. Bad D6. Bad. Using white D6 now. So yeah, they're lightly tapping you with their clubs, leaving small bruises. New round. There are 3 of them. One of your companions has run away, so there's 3 of them and 3 of you. He is. That is the arc is not running off into the darkness after that creepy little thing that just that lit up with a faint blue halo and ran away. He is instead going to turn and rush. Well, he'll rush Numbers Rab. Numbers, you going to shoot somebody else?
Yeah, I suppose I'll shoot that guy who's running at me if I see it. I mean, if he starts running at me, or I'll just shoot somebody else.
Yeah, you've got situational awareness, dude. With your decks, you just kind of, you gun this guy down, and you think, okay, maybe I can help my companions. You turn around, Bogo's not there, but there's one sprinting at you, so you can take your shot.
All right, I'll shoot him. That's also a 13.
That will hit.
24.
Wow, yeah, he is badly injured by that. You just kind of draw a burning scar, a burning slash across his chest there with your when you rake him with a laser pulse. So it's initiative or it's counterattacks rather from Chef Coney and Omu. I'm guessing you guys are going to continue to melee.
Yes.
All right. Then roll initiative if you would, Chef Coney.
God, my rolls suck. I got a 1.
Okay, well, they'll go first.
Of course. This guy has a rain cloud over his head everywhere he goes.
All right, so this one is against Chev Coney. Yeah, I'm going to go old school. I'm going to go D20 plus D6.
Sweet.
That is a miss. That he rolled a whopping 6. So let's try this on Omu.
Better than I have so far.
That is an 11, which you are armor class 5. That is that will miss.
Right.
Okay, counterattacks, please.
I got a 14 this time.
That will hit.
Okay, and the damage is 25, right? 25 fixed. For the blade.
Yes. Yeah, you slash through a shield and yeah, he's howling and screaming in pain. But they're going to stay in the mix. Go for it, Omu.
11.
11. Your club weapon class is. I'm going to have to double check on that because this is. Okay. That will unfortunately miss. He's coming in with shield high, so he is managing to deflect that. Fourth verse, same as the first. Numbers, you gonna shoot at this guy again? He is right in your grill. This will be based firing at nearly point blank range. Are you going to shoot at him?
Yeah. I don't have a choice.
All right.
All right.
Roll it.
Oof, that's a 4.
Yeah, up close like this, it's difficult. What is Bogo doing? Just hiding in the dark?
Bogo is trying to loop around to come in behind the bad doggies.
Okay. You'll have to go, maybe 10 meters away and then try and scooch around to where they are. So we'll say in the previous round you got 10 meters away, and in this round you can come back in, but you won't attack until the following round. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Because I'm trying to come up behind them. I have an idea.
All right. So you missed, and how about Omu, roll initiative, please, for the tribe.
Rolled a 4.
I am on fire tonight, so that is another tie. So let's do our melee things.
Okay, so take another swing with the club. 4.
You're flailing away. What would Rex say? What would Rex say? All right.
I rolled a 3, so
The shame of it all.
Yeah, they both push you back with their shields, and let's see. That I don't think the first one, no, and the second one, no. Yeah, it's equally terrible. So, Bogo, you're now back to the group. What do you wish to do in this round?
Am I behind the dogs?
They are focusing on your fellows, so they don't notice you, so you can be behind one.
Okay. My plan is, because my sling is I'm not good at it, so I'm going to revert to my feral state, and I'm going to bite one of the dogs in the tail and hang on.
Okay. All right. It's not going to do damage, but
Right.
it'll
get his attention though.
Yeah.
Pick up a stick and throw it as far as I can go. Here you go, boy. Fetch.
Maybe you should wet William, Bogo.
Well, that's phase 2 of the attack
Okay.
plan.
Okay. Is Numbers still trying to blast this thing at close range?
I am.
All right, roll it.
This is the last shot in this hydrogen cell before I'll have to reload.
Okay.
Another 4.
Yeah, that is clearly a miss. Now we roll initiative, and I think it's how about Bogo's initiative roll? How about that?
Alrighty, I'm going to be using the very popular green 6-sided dice, and I rolled a 5.
Party goes first.
All right.
So you still need an attack. How many hit dice does Bogo have?
Bogo hit dice.
Yeah, what is Bogo's constitution? Tell me that.
14.
So that's 14. So you need a 12 plus to get this guy.
Okay, here we go. Using the mutant green dice. And I rolled another 2. That dice is going in the microwave, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so you're running around back and forth trying to grab his tail as he is largely ignoring you. Chevconi, do your thing.
Yeah, I rolled a 7.
That's better.
Yes, it is. It is. So far, I think I've rolled 3, 4, 5, 7. And then I had the 13, so.
Yeah. So yeah, this thing dancing back and forth, growling at you.
Well, I'm growling at me too.
13, let's see, with his club. That will just miss you. And Omu. Go ahead and do your attack, please.
15.
That will hit.
What does the club do anyway?
It's a D6. Yeah, it's a D6.
Okay, so I rolled a 5.
Wow. So yeah, you get a nice satisfying crunch out of that. But in the exchange, he hits you for 1. Yeah, he's leaning in, coming in high, and you step up and plant your club right in his ribs, and you just oof.
Take that, doggy.
Yeah, it's really more his momentum than any strength of swing that calls you on the head there as he swings it around. Okay, I know what they're doing in the next round. Numbers, are you going to spend this round reloading?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, he's like right in front of you, and you break this thing's chamber open, and you're trying to fit a hydrogen cell in as he's taking a swing at you. Everybody else going to continue to melee, and Bogo is still trying to grab the thing's tail.
Bogo actually is going to forego the tail because it's wagging entirely too much, and he's going to jump on the back of the leg of the dog and attempt to climb up its back.
It's basically going to be the same kind of roll. So, Doomsword, you rarely need to roll initiative. So, how about you roll for the party this time?
Alrighty, come on. Oh, 6.
Nice.
Party goes first.
Chevconi got a 15. So
That is a hit. And
Yep.
that kills it. You cut through the wicker shield, its arm, its intestines, and its upper thigh, and it collapses on the ground.
Bogo rolled, and I don't know if this is good. Oh, wait, it was anything over 12. Okay, good. Bogo rolled a 13.
All right. And Omu.
Roll the 1.
You roll the 1. Okay, yeah. You're swinging at it. You're swinging at it because they are getting the hell out of dodge. They are turning to sprint away. This thing is like swinging his club at his back when he feels Bogo start to climb on, but they are just getting out of dodge. Is Bogo jumping off of the thing, or what's he doing?
No, Bogo is committed. The ultimate plan here is to climb up its back, use my sling to throw it around its neck, choke it out. I'm gonna Caesar Milan this dog.
Okay, it's going to take you a little bit of luck. He is trying to grab you. Of course, you have your force field on. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. You guys see the two remaining ones just run into the darkness, and you can see the faint blue glow of you're like, is Bogo on that thing's back? So go ahead and
I rolled a 19.
all right, you've got it around his neck and you're choking, and he is scrabbling. He's thrashing around a bit.
Bogo starts making cowboy noises, going yeehaw.
Okay, is anyone is anyone stopping this or going after Bogo?
Is he within distance of running, or is he too far off?
You can absolutely run after him.
I'm gonna run after him, and I'm gonna see if I can attack the dog's legs, if I can. I mean,
okay.
Yes.
How about Omu?
Omu's contemplating whether to load a crossbow bolt, but it might be kind of a tricky shot, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Numbers. What is Numbers doing?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna let Bogo handle this. We've been down this road a bunch of times already. I ain't wasting hydrogen shots.
Just let the scene play out.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and roll initiative if you would. There. We know what Bogo's doing, so I'll give it over to Chef Coney. Roll a d6.
I got a 4 this time.
That is a fourth 4 in a row I have rolled. This guy is distracted. I'll let you go first because it is an initiative tie.
Okay. 16. So he's going to take 25 damage.
Okay, yeah. He is. He falls down. Give me a d20 roll there for Bogo. This is not damage. This is just to stay on, basically.
Right. Best 8 seconds of my life. Ugh. And I rolled a 9.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna get thrown. So yeah, you tuck and roll off into the dirt there. You know, you got your force field on. You're not even scraped up. As the thing is clutching its thigh and holding its paw, basically its front claw up to try and ward off Chef Coney. We're kind of out of combat at this point. Do you want to coup de grace it, send it on its way, or what?
For me? Yeah, I hate these damn things. But almost as much as they hate me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna finish it off if I can. If I feel it's risky at all, I'll just back off. I don't want to hurt Bogo.
Okay. You're close enough. Well, Bogo is over there. You're close enough now that it's not that despite its cowardly outlook, its eyes narrow and it's snatching up its club. You feel it's going to lunge at you, so we're actually out of it. You can just coup de grace situation. So roll initiative.
Okay. I got a 2.
All right. And it swings and misses badly. Like it's swinging its hand before he fully has hold of the club, and in fact, the club just kind of sails over your head. But he's still enraged. You know that look even on a dog's face, so you can give him an attack. Even the dog won't play with him.
Sorry, old yeller. 13.
You run him through in any particularly gross way that you want to, and it expires.
Yeah, I just do it. I don't watch it. I just walk away.
Okay.
Bogo's trying to pick the dog's pockets. He's looking for anything he can use as a sharp weapon.
Okay. He's got a knife. It's made of metal. It's got some hide wrapped around the handle. Oh, we lost Jeff Coney. He was not Jeff Coney. I'm sorry. We lost Bogo, but Bogo did get a knife. What about the rest of you?
Yeah, we got a couple of guys we killed. Sorry.
Yep. Good.
Yeah, well, we got a couple guys we killed here, right? At least one of them.
3. There are 3 dead total.
Yeah, we'll search them guys.
Okay. So let's see.
Sorry, they're working on the pipes that bring in the sunlight here, and apparently they nicked an internet cable or something.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm going to say that you get a total of 10 golden coins. These are square, about the size of the palm of your hand. That's worth quite a few domars, but otherwise they just have some kind of dried meat. Their clubs, their shields, loincloths, and that was about it.
Anybody want to hold on to these coins?
Somebody's backing up.
Hey, quit. We need that car.
All right, so you got some gold coins, and there's some dead arcs lying before you. And when the sun rises tomorrow, that's next week to you viewers and myself and my players, you can continue on your way or you can explore these ruins. But until then, please keep your blaster close and your radiation shields up. I want to thank everybody who hung out with us this evening. If you did the long haul from the beginning of the reading of Deities and Demigods till now, extra thanks. If you just came in for the game, that gets you a thanks still. Thank you to my players, and welcome to Omu. He, like many of us, is over on the Discord. That's Hazard Hoft on the Discord if you want to join us on the Discord. And we have one, and you can do that. I am not shy about inviting people to come and hang out on the Discord. So you can just paste that real quick. Of course, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service, everyone who has stood the watch or who still stands the watch. That is greatly appreciated. Now, I will be back on Monday with some more Deities and Demigods and some of, just whatever fun stuff, whatever positivity I can bring. And then Tuesday, we'll be back. We'll play some AD&D Tuesday night, which I do believe Dim Sword is going to be in that game, yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, that was it. I will.
Wednesday, we will be back with Classic Traveler, where computers weigh a ridiculously huge amount, and that's just silly, Kyle. That's just a little dig at Kyle. And you can get in, by the way, if you join us on the Discord, you can figure out what all these in-jokes are. The invisible horse, Bogo Jorts, and poking Kyle with a stick.
And bedazzled flip-flops.
And bedazzled flip-flops. We can't forget bedazzled flip-flops.
The vac suit leaking and you dying.
It won't happen, I promise you. Thursday we'll be back because I don't think we're going to be done by far with Deities and Demigods by Thursday. And then Friday, as we roll on into the new week, we'll be back playing some Gamma World then. So thank you again to my players. Thank you again to the audience. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Hey, I love you all. I mean that. I really do. Have a great evening. Take care.
Bye-bye.
See ya.